It's a Shishito sunshine day here at Food Literacy Center. Welcome and thanks for joining me. I'm Amber and I'm the Chief Food Genius. And today we are going to be making a spicy Shishito pepper appetizer. Say that 10 times fast. And the first thing I'm going to do is actually get my pan warmed up, because when you are cooking vegetables, you want to start with a pan, not a cold pan, because you want them to hit the heat as soon as they get in there. So I'm going to turn my pan on, and I'm going to get that warming up. I'm going to get it at like medium-high heat. So warm that sucker up, and I'll talk to you a little bit about peppers. So I'm very excited. Here in California, peppers are in season and our farmers markets are bursting with them. My garden is bursting with peppers, and Shishito peppers are a Japanese pepper. The word actually in Japanese means lion head pepper, and I think that's because they're a bit spicy. And what's fun about Shishito peppers is that not every single one is spicy. Sometimes you get a couple and they're completely mild, and then all of a sudden you'll get one that's a little bit hot. But they are something like 13 times less spicy than a jalapeno. So they're a pretty mildly spicy pepper, which is why this is a fun one to play with. You can also use a padron pepper. I have both. I have Shishito peppers and padron peppers, both. Typically you will find them green, but I do like to leave mine on my vine until they begin to turn red. Jalapenos, for example, if you leave them on the vine to become red, they will actually get spicier. I have not necessarily found that to be true with my Shishito peppers, but the jalapeno will become spicier as it gets redder. Also, you can kind of get them in this in-between color where they're a little bit green and a little bit red. So I'm going to use a variety of peppers because I'm growing a variety in my garden. You can use a sweet pepper for this, a hot pepper, doesn't matter. I would just say the most important thing is to get peppers that are of a similar size. And all you have to do is rinse them. That is it. So my pan feels pretty warm now, so we're going to take some high quality olive oil, because you want an olive oil that has good flavor, because this is part of the flavor of this dish. So I'm going to use some California grown olive oil for mine. We're going to put a tablespoon to 2, actually. You're going to put a little bit more olive oil than you normally would, because again, that's part of this dish is the olive oil. So I can smell it already, and it's already sheening and shining. So I'm going to take about 2 cups of peppers. Whoop, one's going flying. And I'm going to just throw them in. They should start to sizzle right away. Hopefully you can hear all that popping. I'm going to throw in more because I have more. I'm going to give them a little zhuzh so they can start to get coated with olive oil. This is a non-stick pan. And so when I can smell them already. When we use a non-stick pan, you want to either use wood or plastic, never metal, because that will scratch that non-stick coating off of your pan. So I have plastic spatula and plastic tongs. Either one would work. So I'm just going to kind of let those guys pop and sizzle in my pretty hot pan. A little bit of that oil might pop back at you, so if you're cooking with kids, you could stand back a little bit and just be prepared for that. You can see them jumping a little, hopefully. So those peppers will begin to kind of come alive in the pan, and that is what you want. And you want them a little bit coated with the olive oil. You can see that they're shiny and bright. I'll give you a little bit of a better view there. Popping, they're moving, they're dancing in there, and the smell is hitting me in the face. This is amazing. I love this as sort of an end of workday snack. It's just so fantastic. Make a little bit of this, maybe a little popcorn, sit out on the back patio with a ice cold lemonade and This is just a great fall snack right here. And what's fun about it is there's literally just the 3 ingredients. You can find all of our recipes at foodliteracycenter.org/recipe. And you'll find this and many other recipes, as well as the videos to cook along with us. And literally this recipe is peppers, olive oil, and a bit of salt, which we'll use at the very end. That is it. It is so, so simple. I'm gonna keep shaking these, tossing them. So you'll see, I don't know if you can see this. Let me try to hold him up. You will see, and see him popping around now? See how it's blown up. So they will start to kind of fill with air as their skin is cooking and they're beginning to expand because there's moisture inside those. Like here's another little guy, my jalapeno. You can see that he is beginning to sort of pop up, right? So they're just sort of beginning to expand. And I'm just gonna keep shaking them. You can also just sort of keep tossing them with your spatula, whatever works for you. If you're great at flipping them in the air, do that trick too. And we're basically trying to get them to caramelize. Hopefully you can see this guy. I'll get him closer. You want them to just begin to caramelize. See how that side is not yet caramelized? So I'm gonna lay him down on his non-caramelized side. And you can kind of go in there and get picky, right? And flip them a little bit. See if there's one that has more char on one side than the other. You're just lightly roasting them on all sides. You could char them up if you like smokier or a little, richer smoke on those. You could get them till they're black. I like them just till they're about golden brown. And so literally you're just gonna cook these just for a few minutes. It really does not take long at all. Another pepper fun fact for you. Did you know that the jalapeno pepper is the first pepper that was taken to NASA by astronauts? It is a favorite of mine as well, so I put jalapenos in here too. And like I said, I like to let them grow until they become red and extra spicy. And because they're all the same size, these are gonna cook at about the same time. And that's one thing when you're sauteing vegetables, you do wanna make sure they're of equal size. So I wouldn't add, for example, a pepper of this size with my peppers of this size, because this one is gonna take longer, and this one would be pretty much completely mushy by the time this one was just getting ready for eating. So I'm gonna give these another flip. Oh yeah, they're almost ready. And they're expanding. Hopefully you can see some of that. You can tell some of those are spicy. It's starting to hit me inside my nose. I'm going to show you another type of pepper that's really fun. This is a Jimmy Nardello. Those are very popular. You can do the same recipe with those. Getting spicy in here, you guys. Getting spicy. All right. My peppers are done. I'm gonna turn off my oven. Take these off the heat. I have a plate here. I'm just gonna throw these on my plate so they're slightly coated with a good amount of olive oil. We roasty toasty them until they're nice, have beautiful color all over them, kind of puffed up. As soon as you take them off the heat, they will not be expanded anymore. They'll lose that air that they puffed up with as the heat was hitting the moisture inside them. Now I've got a pinch of salt. If you have sea salt, this is the best. And you just want to get a bit of salt on there because you are just adding a tiny bit of flavor to those. It's a spicy appetizer snack, so it's kind of like, having salt on a peanut. It just gives it a little bit more flavor and a little bit more fun. You can use as much or as little as you like. And that is everything. So I'm gonna wait till I get a little bit cooled down here. And then the fun thing about these is that they come with a built-in handle. So you've left the stems on these peppers, and that's your built-in handle. So here I go. I don't know if I've got a hot one or if I've got a mild one, but here I go. I love roasted peppers. You could throw these on a sandwich as well. Pull all those stems off and put them on a sandwich. I got a mild one. Not hot at all, but so filled with flavor. A little bit sweet as well, because I did not get a hot one, and this is all it takes to make a very tasty fall appetizer. I hope that you'll go to our website, foodliteracycenter.org. Please download more recipes, and please donate so that we can continue to support our farmers markets and our farmers, that we can continue to bring cooking classes to elementary kids throughout the Sacramento area. Thank you so much for your support, and thanks for tuning in. Have a Shishito sunshine day.